All right, today we're back with Andy McGee from Northwest Missouri Bucks and Beards Outfitters, and we're going to talk about Dad's Hunt, where he smashes a Pope and Young buck. All right, if you want to watch the full video, you can go to Havoc Boats YouTube page, where we're going to have it all there. But remember, guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to book a hunt like we were just on, you can go to Northwest Missouri's bucksandbeardsoutfitters.com, and you can get with Andy. He's your man over there. So let's get into it. So, Andy, as you can see, and everybody can see here, we had a successful hunt in Missouri with this big buck on the table, but I know there was a lot more that went into it before we got there. Let's get right into that, kind of the preparation on it.
Yeah. So the killing's the easy part, right?
I don't think so.
Most cases it is, but not in his, exactly.
In this case, he made it easy for me because we didn't have to track it. Didn't run very far.
That is true.
But yeah, on a big deer, a lot of preparation goes in the off season. It really does. You know, from the first time you get that velvet picture and you can tell it's a mature deer, we start throwing up the cell cams.
Yeah.
You know, cell cams have changed the game because you don't spend so much time with a SD card camera waiting, 2 weeks and then pull the card to check it. That cell camera in 2 or 3 days, you don't get a photo, you can move it.
And they're changing game plans too.
Changing game plans. Yeah. So where this deer was bedded was on the other side of a creek down in a little ditch with some willows, but there's standing corn all around him. So he had everything to his advantage down. It was cooler down in that creek. There's a lot of browse down in there. It's early season. So it was really hard to pinpoint what trail he was coming out on going into that corn.
Right.
We would get pictures of him coming out where we actually set you on the first day pretty regularly.
Right.
But as we found out whenever we made the move on him and ended up killing him, he was using a back trail out of that bedding area to go out in the corn and skirting that stand.
And we actually seen all 3 shooters that first day.
You did. Yeah.
We just didn't have enough camera light to make the shot.
Yeah, and we run into that with film crews, which you want to get the shot on video as best you can to tell the story, right? But I really chalk it up to the cell cameras and actually knowing where these deer are bedded. Off season we go in there. Typically buck bedding up there in the Midwest is going to be in the same general vicinity.
Right.
One big buck is killed out of there. There's going to be another one take its place because the big deer find the best spots, right?
That's right, yeah.
So we kind of knew the area, and we had gotten pictures of 2 or 3 different shooters, coming into that standing corn. This was one of the target deer we were after. But making that move once we took the first afternoon, the hunter, Tim's like, hey, this is what I saw. This is what they're doing. Well, we had been watching him for 6 weeks on trail camera. We put all those pieces of the puzzle together and was able to make that move. Yeah, to be able to kill him.
We actually made a decision that first night. So, we seen the deer.
Yep.
We could have shot him the first night.
Yeah, what was he like? 25 yards?
Yeah, he's 25 yards. He's broadside looking at me, and we could have shot the deer then. But David said, "Hey, the camera's no good."
And that's always a gamble, man. Because with these big deer, they might not ever slip up.
What's crazy, this is my biggest deer with a bow for sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it just.
Was this a buck y'all had on camera before?
Let this deer go by.
Like in years in the past? Like, have you seen this buck, or is this like a buck that just kind of showed up?
No, we had him on camera on that particular farm last year. We believe him to be 5 this year. So he would have been, obviously was mature deer as a 4-year-old last year and a shooter. He was just kind of one that was very hard to pin down. With, like I said, you would pull SD card camera on a deer, and 2 weeks later, and he had been gone for 5 days.
Right.
So when that happens, you typically have to regroup.
Yeah.
Well, a cell camera, the technology of cell cameras changes the game so much in the sense of if he starts disappearing after day 3, you can immediately move. You don't wait to go pull the card 2 weeks later.
But one thing I noticed, I seen all 3 target deer the first day, and not a single one of them went by the cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very common. That's why I tell hunters you cannot hunt the trail camera.
That's right.
It's just an idea to give you the inventory of what's on that farm.
That's right.
You still got to put boots on the ground.
Yeah, those deer they circled around the camera.
Yeah.
They're following the little trail between the creek and the corn, and that's where the deer were.
Yeah. They don't get that big being stupid. They know when something's different in their bedroom.
And another thing that helped it was, the hunter is, avid enough, obviously, to pay attention to what's going on. That first night, he comes back. He's like, he shows me on the map. He's like, hey, look, this is where he come from. I confirm, like, well, that makes sense. This is where I feel like he's bedding in these willows. And after seeing the route those other bucks took, you know, Tim was like, hey, look, you know, is there a possibility to get in, you know, right here for camera light? He's like, I can kill this deer, but I can't do it where I'm at because by the time they get there, you and I with no camera, it would have been done the first day.
And that's what, you know, that's one thing that was so awesome about your outfit is because you allowed people, you know, like me, come up with a plan.
Sure.
And you're like, you supported it.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people say, no, just stay on that stand. He's going to screw up. Then you'll get his shot. But we knew, I mean, I knew, me and David talked about it. I said, we'll kill this deer. There's no doubt we'll kill this deer. But will we kill this deer on camera?
Right.
That was
and it's not. And the thing is, too, it's like it's not a high fenced area. So there's a lot to play.
The deer could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how big that cornfield was, but it was what? It's 40, 50, 60 acres or maybe 100.
Well, just that portion.
It is.
There's a little 80 acres just in that
that's
corner.
A huge cornfield.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
And one thing that really helped me make that decision to be confident in pushing you in there on the second day was, if you remember, right before you guys come up, it started getting warm.
Yes. It got really hot. It was
hot. It was almost 90 degrees. So in my mind, I'm like, he is using this trail. You saw him the evening before, you know, right before legal shooting light was over. However, it was not good for camera light. He's on his feet out of his bed well before shooting lights is over. However, with it being so hot, he may not come out of that creek.
Well, you know what's
creek bed.
You know what's crazy about it is, like, we were thinking, I was telling David, I said, all we need is 15, 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
And I thought that we would move up 200, 250 yards and we would gain 15 to 20 minutes. But we killed this buck at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you gained an hour and a half.
I know it. So what's crazy about it is this deer was staying in the bottoms feeding.
He was just grazing.
Great. And he was taking his time. He was not going to get out there in the corn till after dark.
Yeah. And looking back at the film, I mean, it was what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
And we were only
If you were
200.
just watching them?
Was we 200 yards from the original set?
It was about,
Maybe 200 yards.
Gross, right?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that later. Net, you was about 165, 170 yards. Another thing to pinpoint on this is how we went about putting you guys in there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big creek timber bottom, right? We very easily could have just walked the edge of that creek, found a tree, and climbed up. But I really felt like, and after talking with Tim, he agreed, that deer is on the other side of that creek, not far away.
No, he wasn't far.
We got downwind. And this is little detailed stuff that you really don't, a lot of people don't pay attention to that I do, is we went about 2 or 3 rows of corn in, just slipping down there on the downwind side. They was able to slip all the way down within probably 150 yards this deer bedded and literally just stepped out of the corn right down into that creek bottom to a tree and climbed up.
Yeah.
Versus most hunters would have went on the easier walking and the wide open where they could see the trails or see sign and walk down that creek bottom, and the deer sitting over there watching him.
Yeah.
So I think all those together played a pivotal part in getting him killed at hour and a half before dark.
Yeah. Also,
On the first sit of the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, having the saddles and the sticks, the carbon sticks are big.
Yeah, quiet.
They didn't make much noise.
You just slipped in there real surgical. Didn't make a lot of
cameraman
noise.
was surgical too.
No, I was laughing.
point that out.
I was laughing watching David climb up the tree. It was
a blast.
It's the first time he actually did that.
What an incredible job, though. To have a camera guy that is that versatile, that's willing to, he's there to get the kill done, right?
Well, he's trying to retire, and I'm thinking, no.
Well, I don't think you're letting him.
No, he's not retired.
He's not getting very far with that, I would say.
I think it's funny. He makes,
You enjoy it. Don't you?
I enjoy watching him be miserable.
Oh yeah, the day after that, y'all, Hugh killed. Me and David was going together, and we went through that cornfield, and we jumped, through the creek 2 different times.
Oh yeah.
Walked the creek bottom out, and we had bank and rocks, and there's bank on both sides. Oh, he was hating that. We got down in the creek, and it was probably low calf deep.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we're gonna have to cross it. And he's like, I'm not wearing the right boots for that. We can't cross here. And I'm like, but just think, if we do,
we might be in the game.
And we kill this buck, how epic the story is gonna be.
You're trying to sell him on the filming part.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a legendary adventure we're on right here. He's like, there's land right there. Let's just walk back around. We can just 50 yards downwind.
There's no way David or camera guys ever retiring.
No, not for that much fun.
But let's talk about the shot.
Yeah.
The shot was kind of weird.
The shot was not as bad as what you think.
I know
It was.
You beat yourself up about it. It was not bad.
I had some brush for shooting.
And I still think you might have nicked the brush too, because I went up in that tree just to look around on like the last day, and man, there was not big windows, and it loses light in there a little bit, and it starts vanishing like super early in the evening.
Well, I ended up going in front of the shoulder. Here's a video right here. But the arrow came in front of the shoulder and out the backside.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, how unclear that is. I mean, you had to dice it through a hole.
Well, I mean, I knew he's a 150 plus. I was like, hey, I got to shoot. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, the deer actually, it was quartered to a little bit, and it actually was a complete pass through. It come out behind the opposite shoulder.
Right. Well, it's stuck in a white. You know, he started rolling around. It actually came out, but it was actually a good shot. He dropped really quick. I shot him high, downward angle. You know? But
man, it's easy.
It was crazy.
It was easy track.
It was a crazy shot.
It's fun when a plan like that comes together.
Yeah.
And it don't always happen like that. That's like one of them, like you hunt years and then finally a plan just works.
Yeah.
That fast.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't know is to get all the camera gear up in the tree, last minute move the next day, like we was being bold because we knew it was getting hot.
Well, I mean, we only had 3-4 days to hunt.
Have 4 days to hunt. It's 90 degrees.
Yeah, you got to move.
You see him on the first afternoon. Let's go after it. Train the camera guy to get in a saddle.
Yeah, first time ever.
He'd never been in a saddle before. He climbs up this tree and gets it on film. Like, what more could you ask for?
Is that abnormal to get a group of guys that aggressive? You know, you definitely tell us Arkansas guys.
Yeah, well, I said this in the previous podcast. You can tell the difference between hunters and killers.
Yeah.
Right? And it's our job to determine whether or not we trust you to be a killer or to remain you as a hunter.
Right.
And keep you where you are. Not that we don't trust your ability, but the success of your hunt depends on what we allow you to do sometimes because of your capabilities.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the truth of it.
I wouldn't send just anybody within 150 yards of a bedded deer that's over 150 inches on the second day of bow season.
That's Dallas County deer. That's Dallas County deer hunting right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
in a nutshell.
Yeah, you get used to hunting pine thickets around here.
Yeah.
It turns you into a killer.
Without a doubt. So let's talk about the buck right here though. Looking at it, it's hard to believe that it scores over 155.
And we caught a lot of flack over the internet.
Because of how wide it is.
I mean, the internet destroyed us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had people hating on the deer immediately.
Yeah. Well, I
really don't understand that. I don't really think the picture did the deer justice.
It was a straight up shot, and like I said, like the worst factor of that particular buck is the width.
Yeah.
But he's massy and he's tall.
Well, I'll say this, just to preface what we're fixing to dive into. If you are a hunter and you are bashing another hunter in this industry, shame on you.
Well, I mean, why?
For no reason.
I mean, it's crazy how people just jumped on there. And said,
I think what it is
no way.
I think we have forgotten what woodsmanship actually is, right?
For sure.
And when you get behind a keyboard, you get a lot more bold and liberal in your opinion. And me personally, I would never try to score a deer off of a photo because I don't have it in my hand.
I mean, I would definitely get upset if my child or my son got on there and wasted his time on social media bashing somebody else's deer.
We're all trying to accomplish the same thing.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how the pictures are misleading.
They are.
The way it focuses these people, because a lot of these people are good hunters.
Sure.
And they know better.
Yeah.
But you give them one picture, you give them two pictures, give them three pictures, then soon they say, "Oh well, I might have made a mistake."
Right.
So it's really deceiving. On you see all these outdoor channels and all these deer killed across the nation. What a 200, a 150, a 160 actually is.
Especially when you're in like Northwest Missouri, those deer are big.
Oh, they're huge.
And when you compare the antlers to the bodies, it doesn't, like if Dallas County, Arkansas, if you shot a deer with antlers like that, it'll look like a elk walking through there.
Well, and a lot of time, you notice a lot of outdoor production television hunting companies, if you will, spend a lot of their episodes shooting in South Texas. And the reason why is the racks look larger because the body size is smaller.
Yeah, what the deer's 120 pounds?
Yeah, 135 pounds on average in South Texas for a mature deer.
When I got off the stand, I walked up to a deer. I came back to David. David said, "Is he a good deer?" I said, "Yeah, I think he's 140, 145.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but what I didn't realize is the deer weighed 240 something pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
He
mean-
actually, and just for all the haters out there, we have digital scales and we normally weigh them before we field dress them. On the hoof, he was 237.3 pounds to be exact.
Right.
So you're talking about a deer.
I mean, that's amazing sized deer. I mean, we don't have that deer in Dallas County.
Dallas
No.
County, that deer's got the weight by 100 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference to the
It makes a
rack
big
size.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see where the viewers or the fans, what do you want
Yeah.
to call them?
Sure.
Or look,
They're fans. We love them.
Yeah.
There are definitely all
absolutely.
fans.
Listen, guys, we didn't get
100%
pissed off at you because you was hating on us, okay?
Look, we'll take you up there and show you how these big deer look on a
Yeah.
200-pound body. It's not a problem.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah, you definitely spoke out of turn. Which, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't judge the deer fully before you made your
No.
opinion.
you did help us develop a new product called Bucket of Tears.
Bucket
so.
of tears.
I love it.
And by the way, what we're going to do with this bucket of tears, we're going to take all the comments and we're going to print them out real small with the names under them, and we're going to slide it, put it in the bucket, and when we fill the bucket up, we're going to shake it up real good, and we're going to draw a name and a comment out of there, and that's how you're going to win the bucket.
Or if you got a buddy,
And this is the bucket in case you don't know.
or if you got a buddy that kills a big buck and they're bashing you, then just send him a Bucket of Tears by Havoc
Yeah.
Boats.
That's
There
right.
you go, bucket of tears.
Yep. But anyways, back to scoring this deer. Explain to our audience on how, because you actually scored the deer.
Yes.
And how many deer have you scored?
So in the past 5 years, roughly, once again, we're talking roughly here.
Yeah, this is
I've
a rough.
probably-
I mean, this is obviously a rough score, right?
Yeah, that's a rough score. I'm not
It's not a Boone and Crockett.
I'm not
Pope
Boone and
Young,
Crockett. I'm not official Pope and Young scorer, nothing like that.
but it's a rough score.
I've rough scored probably over 100 whitetails for clients in the past 5 years,
Yeah.
I would say. And when I say rough gross score, well, a guy goes up there and kills a deer of a lifetime. He's like, man, what do you think this deer would score?
Yeah, I mean, he wants to know.
They want to know. Now, I tell them, look, I'm not official,
Yeah.
In today's world, as you can see with the comments, everybody they want to get you for being an inch off,
Yeah.
But typically on any whitetail deer, regardless of points, a deer, obviously you score every time, and then you have, kickers and splits. That's your abnormal points. You add all of that together for a gross score.
Right.
Now, to make it a book deer, you would have deductions, et cetera. That's beyond
Which I
my
think this
scope of
buck
experience.
has around 8 inches of deductions.
Right, yeah.
Close.
In there.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a misconception of mass measurements on whitetail.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fact check me by going to popeandyoung.com, BooneandCrockettClub.com. But you have 4 mass measurements
And that's what I didn't know.
per antler.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are saying this door's. I mean, you guys are saying this deer was, I don't know, 150 to 160.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it had what, 40 something, 30 something inches, 40 inches of mass.
Yeah, right in there.
I mean, that's a lot of mass.
That's a lot. I mean, the bases were over 5 inches. The second and third mass measurements were 4 and some change, and the actual last one was almost 4 itself. On one side, it was 3 and 5/8, I believe, 3 and 6/8 on a 4th mass measurement of a deer.
right.
And what makes a deer score well are 2 things. It's not width, and it's really timing
Because that's
does
one
help.
measurement. Because
Yeah, it's
that's
mass.
one measurement.
Mass is a lot of
And
it.
it's your brow tines,
Right.
or people call them eye guards, G1s, whatever.
And this deer had exceptionally well.
Yes.
developed.
One of them was, I think it was around
I mean,
10
it checks
inches.
both boxes between mass and
Yes.
brow tine.
And I think a lot of people on the internet that seen this deer, that's what they didn't.
Yeah.
If that deer would have been 4 inches wider,
Yes.
I don't think half of them would have said anything.
No, it wouldn't,
Because
because people
they
think
think-
they associate width with score.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Because
it's such
you-
a small measurement.
Right, because you guys told me that's a 150, 160 inch deer. I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Well, and it's not us
You know?
being arrogant. We just look at a lot of them.
That's right.
You know.
I mean, even I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah.
But until you actually know what you're looking at,
Yeah.
and you talk about the mass, the mass is 4 measurements. It's pretty
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And a lot of guys
mass is
think
there.
that the 4th measurement is a misconception in the outdoor industry that it has to be a G4. Like you've got your G1, your G2, your G3 on an 8-point. A 10-point would be a G4.
Right.
And a lot of people only give that 4th measurement if it has that G4. And the rule states that if it does not have a G4, you still give a 4th mass measurement between the center of the end of the main beam.
That's gonna be the smallest.
G3.
That's gonna be the smallest area, correct?
Yeah. So center of the G3
Yeah.
to the tip of the main beam would be your fourth mass measurement on each side of this particular deer.
And I'm not too sure if everybody knows that.
I don't think so. I mean, I wasn't fully aware of how to officially score it like that until we did this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it.
And we're just gross scoring. I mean, we're using, like a
But I also
kit.
I also wouldn't get online though.
No, I wouldn't do that.
And project my opinion when I don't know all of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's maturity.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wouldn't do that.
I mean, you don't see a 55-year-old man doing that.
I would hope not. I would really hope not.
I've seen a couple of you. You know who you are.
Oh yeah. Those are super.
We clicked
fans.
on your Facebook profile after you made the comment.
Yeah, we know who you are. Buddy.
We know who you are.
But it's really, I mean, to get people to fully understand
Yeah.
what scores a big deer.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen these wide bucks, the super wide bucks,
Right.
small tines, not a lot of mass. They don't score good.
Yeah.
Right. So it definitely depends on how she's built.
Oh,
And-
absolutely.
And you can't tell how big the body is. And I mean, it's
I'll just say this.
crazy.
How can find me someone that you give them 5 deer off a photo that they didn't take and was not there, and you tell me how accurate they can be on 5 different deer, how many of them could get close to what that deer actually scored by looking at a photo online?
One
Now-
photo.
Now
It'll never happen.
Now I had some buddies that's killed some big deer in Missouri,
Yeah.
North Illinois, whatever, and he texts me, so yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
155ish.
Yeah, no
you know.
doubt.
So obviously they knew what they were looking at.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they've been around
Right.
those type of
But
deer.
me, hunting in Dallas County, Pine Thickets, South United States, I had no idea.
Yeah, I envision like if you told me, all right, envision a 160 like before we went on this trip,
Yeah.
it would be different.
Yeah.
I would envision it different because I don't know.
Because we're so used to seeing what's on TV.
Well, and here's the deal.
You know?
You take that same deer and he has 4.5-inch bases and he has 2 7/8 fourth mass measurements, and you've got a 130-inch deer.
That's right.
Right.
That quick.
It's
They're quick.
really fast.
They're quick.
Mass makes a big difference.
So
in
I
the
can
antler
see
size.
where the mistake on
Sure.
social media was made, you know.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Well, here's one thing that it ain't. It ain't still running around.
No, it's dead. It's right here.
Brown it down, baby.
That's right.
So you also said you seen this deer last year, right?
Yeah, I believe we had a couple pictures of him.
So
He
what-
didn't have some of that stuff on him, though.
So what is the difference between a deer last year and this deer right here? I mean, what happened here? Did he get more mass?
a couple things. Definitely the mass. Last year, he didn't have that kicker off of his right G2.
Yeah, and it broke right
He's
here.
missing a
Well,
kicker.
that's a split. He did have that last year. He broke that off probably less than 2 weeks before you guys come up.
I mean, it's still white.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
still. I mean, he would have been a 165.
Oh, well, here's the cool thing, and I was kind of mad about it because I wanted that deer to be killed because that tine that was split was almost the same height as the one that's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I was almost like it
Yeah.
doubled, mimicked.
Yeah.
So-
Then everybody's feelings would have been hurt.
Well, then they would have said, well, that's a net. That's a net. That doesn't count for net, so it doesn't count.
I think they're going to
Yeah.
get us on the net thing because it's going to net probably what 150.
I mean, how much do you think it'll shrink once it dries up?
150s,
What do you,
yeah. Below
Yeah,
150.
Yeah.
what do
How
you
it
think it'll
shrinks.
shrink? Like, how many inches do you think it'll lose in the shrink?
Man, they're all different. I think you'll lose a little bit, but I don't think it'll be a lot. I really don't.
2,
I mean,
3 inches, maybe 4.
I don't think it'll be that much. No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, we got a rule at the house 150 above goes on the wall.
Well,
right?
here's the deal.
And my wife's talking shit about me.
Here's the deal.
I'm like,
Like-
she don't know.
Like she's
Hey,
like, that barely makes the wall.
here's what I tell guys: nets are for fishing.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay,
for real.
we go off gross. If there's 158 inches of antler when I kill it, that's what it scored. If you want to
Absolutely.
net something, go net a fish, right?
that's right.
But that's just my philosophy.
I'm definitely using gross. I told her that net bullshit.
See,
We're not going with net.
Yeah, we're
babe.
going with
Right.
gross.
She's
Gross
like,
goes on the
no.
wall.
We're going with net. I said, well, you just might as well get on the damn pages with the haters.
she just likes giving you a hard time.
No, I'm telling you, it hurt my feelings.
She's like, if it ain't 150, it can't go on the wall.
That's what she said.
Right.
Well, I was
So-
kidding with you. I texted you. I said I didn't know it was her that was making. It was Ashley.
No,
making
it
the
was
comment.
actually making.
Well,
she was
I
talking shit
texted
about
him.
me.
I was like, we'll tell them to go kill a 150 in their pine thicket. And he was like, it was Ashley that said it. I was like, well, we better shut up because she may have
Yeah.
one across the road over there in her
Yeah.
spot.
I know, we're not allowed over there, so we don't know what's over there.
Yeah,
You have no idea.
Yeah, she has about what, 200 acres.
She has
300
that whole
acres?
side of the highway.
Yeah, we can't go on that side of the highway. We done shot one.
She's going to have you put a high fence in there before it's over with. I'm telling you.
Probably. I don't know.
You never
I ain't worried
know.
about her. It's going on the wall. I don't give a shit what
Yeah.
she says.
Hey, you put it up on that wall, she ain't gonna climb up there and take it down.
I'll give her a damn bucket of tears if I have to. You know what I'm saying?
I keep looking for her out of the corner of my eye to walk
I know
in.
she thinks. I feel like she's like standing around here somewhere, getting kind of spooked.
No, but I had a great time at the.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time.
Yeah, you guys got a good. And the food was crazy.
And we're coming back. We're coming back too. And we're gonna let the girls take a swing at it.
Yeah, that's going to be a great episode for you guys.
Yes.
The girls getting to hunt and giving back to the women of Havoc.
That'd be
It's gonna
cool.
Be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have 4 women out there.
4 women.
The Havoc women.
I'm gonna have a little man with me.
Yeah, and we're gonna go out there, watch them kill some deer. We're gonna go out there and guide them.
That's going to be fun.
I'm gonna film.
Yeah.
Do some film work.
We'll see how shaky that is.
That's how drama filled this.
I'll be like, hang on. I ain't got the zoom right. Hang on. Don't shoot. You got the bug of a lifetime. Hang on.
They're gonna be nervous.
We're going to have to allow extra time, I'm sure, for pickup and drop off.
Oh, you know.
Then after
they'll probably be late getting ready. You know how it goes.
Then after the Thanksgiving hunt, we're gonna go back and muzzleloader.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Shoot them.
a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You guys got a cool place up there. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that part of the country. It's North Missouri is beautiful.
It's like a getaway, you know?
Yeah, of course.
no doubt, it's probably the best outfitters we've been in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, we put a lot of time in making sure the hunter gets a chance at a buck.
Well, you guys were just excited for me to kill this deer.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you get tired of looking at them like, I can't wait till somebody puts an arrow through that thing, you know?
yeah.
Because you want to get your hands on it because we have our guesstimation what we think a deer score, and there's nothing better than hunter making a good shot because it has went the other way before.
I believe it.
Trying to trail.
I was more worried about that than anything.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to bloody up this guy's trophy buck.
No.
Yeah, and then you gotta. It's horrible. I mean, how many acres do y'all have out there total?
Total, all the farms just under 12,000.
12,000, just under 12.
Yeah, the farm you guys were hunting on was about 1,300 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you was actually hunting on a different one. Yours about 900.
So how many
Yours about
how many different farms is that to make up that?
Oh
12?
my goodness, man! You
Because
try
I
to
know
catch
you
me
got.
off
I
guard.
know you got
don't
little
know.
plots and stuff here and there.
I mean, probably more than 8 or 9.
really?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
It is.
awesome, man. There's big things to come. I'm
But-
excited.
And the weather's finally getting better.
It is.
Yep.
My neck's swelling up.
They just had a lot of rain up there, so toward the end of October, it's gonna start getting cold. They'll be up hitting scrapes, cruising.
Yeah, it was nice this morning.
I had
It was-
bucks fighting on my game camera this morning.
You did,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, I'm getting ready.
Oh man.
I think we're going to shoot some does this weekend, hopefully.
Yep, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Clean
Shoot
some does out.
some does this weekend, get ready. We're gonna go to Colorado.
We need to get y'all down to our place in Arkansas, down in Southwest Arkansas, on the Little Missouri River, and film some hog hunting.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Hey, we got hogs here too.
Yeah,
we do.
That you would have a blast down there.
We got hogs everywhere.
That's how it is down there. They're moving in. We got some really good deer down there, but
You know what's crazy? Last year we had no hogs. This year we got nothing but hogs.
they just kind of moved in, and they don't really run the deer off. But if you're feeding the deer, they're not going to be where the
I will say though,
hogs
our
in
problem is our hogs are out there daytime right now.
same there.
So it's kind of got the deer coming in.
But you guys got a trap, don't you?
Yeah, we do have
catch 'em?
we do have a net.
we're gonna get them.
Yeah, we'll catch 30, 40 hogs at a time. It's really neat. It's called the pig brig.
Yeah. Pig brigs.
I've looked at them. I'd like to look at getting.
Y'all
one.
definitely need to get that. It's,
It's a really neat
to me, it's
trap.
the best.
It the pigs bore under it and they get trapped inside, kind of like a fish.
And it don't
trap.
tear up. It
Yeah.
don't tear up. And the reason it doesn't tear up is because it's just like a spring, man. They hit it as hard as they want, and it just flops them back in
Yeah,
there.
and it's probably easy to maneuver because it's not heavy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just pack it in.
My wife loves to set that thing up,
Really?
which is glad because I don't like setting it up. She enjoys it.
Well,
Good for you, babe.
You know, there's only one way to really build a circle. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's either a circle or it's not.
Yeah,
And
right.
if we're hitting T-posts in, the circle's not built right.
And you know me.
So she's got to place them, get them exactly
'em.
at the right angle.
And we don't read the instructions. We're looking at pictures and shit.
yeah, that looks good. Now,
I don't got time to read that shit.
Yeah, she's like, you didn't hit that to the depth it's supposed to be at. I'm like, how many inches am I off? You know, I mean, I gotta keep hitting on them, but
But anyways,
yeah, it is.
that pig brig is the way to catch pigs. If you
Yeah.
got a pig problem, you need to get that net system.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
definitely
for
check
sure.
that out. And
You can't shoot enough pigs.
no, you can't. You can't waste enough arrows.
think
on 'em.
you're just lucky you don't have them up north.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be a nightmare.
Well, imagine all that agriculture, all them farmers.
Yeah.
It'd be bad.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to do something.
Yeah,
Have to.
helicopter or something.
Absolutely. Well, man, we appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
And we'll do some more stuff with this deer. Out of here, of course. We might go measure them.
Yeah,
I think video measuring would be a good idea.
yeah.
Just to kind of show an example of.
I mean, if people still
What we're
don't
talking
believe us,
about.
then they just don't believe us. I mean, it's a good deer. I mean,
Yeah, it's
you
hard
could
to
definitely-
please everybody.
You could definitely tell the mass in this deer and the time length.
And even if it was not
Mhm.
a 150 plus buck, if it was a 110, you still should keep your mouth shut on the internet.
You should always support, just like you said earlier. You
Yeah.
should support
Yeah,
this
of course.
industry. You know, there's so many people against what we do, what
We have enough
enjoy.
haters as it is that
I know.
don't hunt.
Exactly. So, you know,
I mean, say the kids get on there and they see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a bad example.
Well, what are you teaching your kids? To bash every time
God,
somebody
it's
does
just
something?
ridiculous.
No wonder the whole industry's changing.
but
Trying.
we're trying to make things better. So,
That's right.
We are
Which is-
one step at a time.
Yeah. And keep fighting for what you believe in and keep enjoying the outdoors and take
That's
your
right.
kids hunting.
That's right.
And it's not always about the bone.
It ain't.
That's right.
You know,
It's about the experience.
It's about the experience. You go out, you take kids out there, you spend time with your father, you know, your mom and your
Yeah.
family. It's better than running the streets for sure.
If you want to, I'll say it again, if you're worried about nets, go buy a Havoc boat and go fishing with it.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, we score them gross.
We score them gross around here.
You just wait till I freaking hold up a 10-pound bass.
Yeah.
Well, then
I
they're
know.
going to say it didn't weigh 10 pounds.
Yeah, I know it. I know. I can already see them coming in now.
Hey, here's funny. How do you measure that, right?
I don't know.
They're
This is
going to
a-
have bass score sheets in the future?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, what does a 24-inch bass weigh, guys? Come on. Let me know.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're all different.
Yeah.
All different. Anyways,
23, 22-inch bass. Tell me what they weigh. Come on. Come on with it.
but it's so deceiving too.
Yeah.
But anyways, not to get back on that whole thing. I mean, everybody just keep your mouth shut and be happy for everybody. How about we just try
Right,
that?
right.
That'd be a good idea.
Let's just kill deer.
That's
yeah,
it.
skill deer, man.
That's it. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out our gear shop. We got new stuff coming up daily. So we'll catch you on the next one.